I was
Okay.
gonna.
So
I wouldn't let you get too far in without letting you know. So,
good.
do you think that's about the best we're going to get? If we get a few more, then
We've got 54 at the moment, so that's good. So
yeah, that's not too bad for
yeah.
3:30 on a Black Friday afternoon, is it? When everyone wants to go shopping. Yeah, still a couple more. So right, so we'll get going anyway because obviously there's probably going to be a lot to cover. So afternoon, everyone. So my name's Rich. I'm a safety training specialist at Network Rail, and the idea of today is to try and look at the new rules and the changes to the training material. I just want to put it out there now that I know some people probably have quite a lot of questions about the standards, maybe 019, 021. Honestly, we probably won't be able to cover those today, and I'm only really saying that because, firstly, it's not really my place. I don't work for the technical authority, and also I know there is an FAQ document being produced which will probably address a lot of these anyway. But if we look at the training materials, any questions that you've got about that, obviously the biggest change is the change to costs and cost lookouts. You probably all have had the communication which has been put on the screen there, and I thought probably the best way of as a structure of going through this would be to have a look at this first and then see if we've got any questions on that. And then if you've got other questions about other materials, then please by all means put it my way. So just to start with, so as of next Saturday, and I should point out for those people that may have already noticed that it says it comes into effect on the 5th of December. It's actually the 6th. It's after the 5th, if you want to look at that. So some of the letters say after the 5th and some say from the 6th. So it's actually the 6th of December. That's when the new standard comes into place. That's when all the new material comes into effect. And as you know, this is one of the biggest changes that we've had in that costs is being split into costs and costs lookout, or costs LKT as a short code. And the background behind it, as you can see on there, Network Rail are trying to reduce the use of lookouts. And one of the biggest things that they're going to do on this one is, first of all, they are changing the rules as to where we can use unassisted lookouts. So that'll be up to 25 miles an hour only, not at night or poor visibility, so only in daylight, and only with sight lookouts only. So as regards to competencies, as you can see, we're now going to have two. There's going to be COS and COS LKT. COS LKT will only be needed by those people who are going to be planning and delivering unassisted lookouts. So it has no effect at all on any other kind of warning system. It has no effect on IWA or anything like that. They are all out of scope. And to give you an idea about how this is working, it's all been done rather than doing any kind of a transition with grandfather rights or anything like that. It all comes into effect on the 6th of December. So on the 6th of December, you need to hold COS LKT in order to appoint unassisted lookouts. Now, within Network Rail, we've identified around about 2,000 people, competence holders, who are going to want it. I fully expect that will drop down quite a lot as time goes on, because people just won't meet the practice requirements. What I can tell you is that within the supply chain, nobody has asked for it to be included. I want to say no one's asked for it to be included. I mean, apart from trainers. So all the cost trainers, they will get given COS LKT, trainers and assessors. And we've had to do that really because a lot of you work in the master vendor project, so or the contracts where you're working for Network Rail, and potentially you may need to award it at some point. So that's the way the competency's been put out there. So as of the 6th of December, you'll see an extra competency appears on Sentinel for COS and COS LKT. So if I can just ask to start with, just on the competencies, has anyone got any questions about the actual competencies themselves? Reese, I can see you got your hand up.
Yeah, you're right. So the trouble is that I find is obviously you've mentioned that we can't comment on the standard, but all of the material directly relates to the standard,
Yeah,
and how we obviously check and maintain that. So we've all got questions on that, and I appreciate an FAQs coming out on that,
yeah.
but that doesn't. Do you know what I mean? We are very close to the cutoff now. So where do we stand in terms of compliance if the FAQ doesn't answer our questions, if we can't discuss them here? And as well as that, obviously, you mentioned that obviously no one's put in to have COS Lookout
Yeah,
as a sponsor. So that regardless of the training side of things,
yeah, yeah.
I only had a notification come through. I think it was yesterday or the day before. So there's a lot of sponsors that have been asking us for information because they haven't got any. So I think that there needs to be a look at the communication chain, to obviously approved suppliers.
Yeah. So the the project that I've been working on this, I've been consulting with various bodies for probably about 4 or 5 months now, and going out and saying this is what they intend to do, and saying does anyone need it, and I agree with you, Reece. I said there are people out there. I've just had a message actually from a colleague of mine, Ken, who's on the chat. If you see on there, where he said that 5 people have actually from one of the companies have actually asked for it. So there will be more. There's no doubt that there will be more. Yeah. And the the way they're looking at it is that they'll carry on with a transition where people can still apply for it, in the same exactly the same as it will be for training. That people will start to provide a director level approval to say that they want it.
Okay, yeah, now that we've got the letter, I'm passing it out to who I can, knowing that there's like you said, a period in which they can still apply.
Yep,
I'll
yep.
obviously
So
let the few people know that as well.
yeah, they'll still be able to apply for it, because I thought the same. And when they were saying that no one's applied, I thought there will be some. Although it does make me think a little bit when you think of the rule change of 25 miles an hour, just how much people will actually want it. I don't know. It's probably people use it with a higher line speed now, and obviously won't be able to use it at all, will they?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's going to limit the use, definitely.
But as regard to your comment on the 021, what I would suggest is, on all the any FAQs or anything that comes out, there is the TA email, the CW safety at Network
Yeah.
Rail one, and to look on there. I would suggest that's the best way of going around. I know the ideal situation was it was hoping to have been finalised this week, but it hasn't really. And like I say, it's just I wish I could answer for you, but although I work with the technical authority, I don't work for them, and it's not actually it wouldn't be my place to give you a decision on anything like that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I appreciate that, and I understand where I work with obviously the EMP lot. I just expressing the frustrations from the assured provider
yeah,
side.
yeah.
That's all.
I mean, I attended a few of the forums, and a lot of the feeling around that was okay. We think we're getting the idea of COS and COS LKT, right? 021, we need to ask some more questions about that, because obviously it's not just a competency change, it's been a major shift in competency management, hasn't it?
Yeah,
So yeah,
100%.
there's a lot of things in there. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're okay with the competency and the rules. As I say, that IWA is not has not been in scope for this change right now. So if you bear that in mind, we've got this sort of strange sort of situation where we've got an IWA in theory could work up to 125 miles an hour on their own, whereas a cost can only work up to 25 miles an hour. You're bound to get that kind of feedback. What I would say is IWA is up for review itself at the moment, and that kind of element, the working on alone, the patrol inspecting, examining, that's going to be looking like it might well get changed by December next year. Okay, so Millie, if you just want to scroll up a little bit to where it says evidence required for recertification.
Sure. Hold on.
So people attending a cost recert as of December the 6th. So there's a transition period up to December 26, where the COSs can just produce the same 4 practice requirements up until that time. So over that, it's still 4. What is different is the method of which the practice requirements are recorded. So any practice requirements up to the 6th of December, they're okay in the same way as they have been with the paper logbooks, because that's the way they've been recorded up until now. From December the 6th, the only way of recording them is to put them on Sentinel. So it is on the Sentinel logbook, and I think again this is what's going to be seen as quite a major shift for people, because although it's been the use of Sentinel in this way, swiping in, swiping out, recording, although it's been in the scheme rules for a while, a lot of people still haven't been doing it. So as of then, that's when we'll be looking at bringing in the Sentinel logbook. But as I say, the practice requirement's still 4 for costs. And that's going up to December 26. What is going to be different is for those, and this is probably going to be if you work in the master vendor contract, but obviously now we're starting to see there probably will be people in the supply chain who require cost lookouts. It all depends on if they hold cost lookout, they have to provide extra practice requirements or extra evidence. And as you can see on the screen or from the letter, that depends on when they attend their cost research. So if it's up to the 5th of March, they only have to provide 1 piece of evidence. Up to the 5th of June, 2, 5th of December, 3, and then really from the 6th of December onwards, it's 4. So they will have to prove that they have actually used unassisted lookouts in that time. Now, what obviously they won't have been able to record on Sentinel costs LKT, because it doesn't exist until the 6th of December. So only from the 6th of December will they be able to record competence use on Sentinel of cost LKT. So is everyone okay with the evidence requirements? This is exactly the same for those of you that work for the master vendor contract within Network Rail. You still have to see exactly the same. So it's 4 pieces of evidence for normal cost duties and 1 or 2, 3, depending on when what the date is for the evidence requirements. Go on, Reese.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
Obviously the letter and the notices touch on requirements ahead of the next recertification event. What about assessments between that period? Are we just to go off CTM 21, or is there a difference on that, an allowance on that?
Yeah. So what I can tell you that it is being addressed in the FAQs. So you'll see
Okay,
that
cool.
when that comes out, yeah. And
Great,
I
thanks.
think don't hold me to it straight away, but I think generally there's a similar transition for assessments where they'll be able to produce the same as they do now for the 12 months. But I think that's the general sort of going to be gist on it. But obviously, as of after that, or after December 26th, that's when it'll go to the 10.
Oh, thank you.
You okay with that one?
Rich, can I just ask a
Yeah,
question?
yeah, of course you can.
The Safe Works Pack evidence that's recorded there, is that to be in addition?
Oh, you've gone.
Oh, you've gone on mute somehow.
Hello?
Hello.
Right, I can hear you again now.
I've no idea how I did that. So are the Safe Works Pack requirements for cause lookout in addition to competence recording for the first 12 months? So if they're starting to record their competences from their use from the 5th of December, is the Safe Works Pack provision only if they haven't got 4 in the logbook already, or is it in addition to?
Honestly, I would say to people, record your use of competence every time you use it. That's by far the best practice to do that, rather than just getting to a 4 and then saying, "Oh, I've got me 4 in," or "I've got me 10 in." Just record it every time. It's going to be a real culture change, I think, for COSs in using Sentinel a lot more with not just swipe ins and recording use of competence, but in recording safety briefs. Because every time a COS records a safety brief, that's how they record their PTS use of competence. And I believe already, speaking to Sentinel, they have had a number of complaints from PTS holders who are saying, but I've used it so many times, what do I do? Because the cost didn't swipe me in. Well, yeah, obviously it's in the scheme rules, so that there will be some more FAQs going out there about this and some more reminders. But I think it'd be a good idea for you in the in the training world to put this out to your delegates when they come in there, that they need to be able to do this. They will need to be able to record these safety briefs so that everyone's use of competence is on there. Sorry, Angie. So the COS LKT is in addition to the other competencies.
Yeah, sorry, I maybe didn't make myself clear.
Right.
So for COS Lookout, it says that you have to do one safe works pack. You have to show one safe works pack, 2, 3, and 4 throughout the quarters leading up to December 2026. The question is if people are recording their competence in Sentinel and somebody comes along with 2 COS Lookouts recorded, do they have to provide 2 uses of competence and 2 safe works packs, or is it just if they have got the competence recorded in Sentinel, they do not also need to bring safe works packs with them?
No, what from December, anything that's recorded on Sentinel, you don't need to produce a safe word pack as well.
Okay.
If it's recorded on Sentinel, that's a recorded use of competence. Yeah.
Okay, great, thank you. So those numbers are just for people that haven't got it recorded in Sentinel or have got it part recorded in Sentinel.
That's it, yeah. So because obviously up until now, most people, you won't have been able to record COS LKT.
Yeah.
So it will just show, even if you've used a lookout, it will just show COS. So how do we know that that was going to be a use of lookout? So then you'll need to be able to provide that as a safe work pack, because there's your evidence then. But yeah, from December, if you can actually prove on COS LKT, then you wouldn't need to produce a safe work pack.
Okay, thank you.
Do you want to go to the next one?
We've got Mike, I think, up next.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks. Afternoon.
How you doing, Mike? You all right?
I'm not too bad. Rich, yourself, mate?
I'm okay, mate.
Nice one, mate. Nice one. No, appreciate the briefing. It was just to try and help out with the PTS guys and girls in the industry who are struggling. We've tried to remind all our staff that they've got their own option to create a My Sentinel account so that they can then jump on and check themselves to see if the COS has recorded what duties they're doing for that shift. So it could just be an option for people to make sure it's done and dusted then, and they're not going to get home and check and it's too late. Then they can check themselves on the smartphones, and it's just an option to help, really, Rich.
Yeah, definitely. I would say to anyone, it's a good idea to do that. The only thing is whereas I'm pretty sure on My Sentinel, you can record, if you're a COS, you can record use of COS. What you can't do is be a PTS and record use of PTS. So only the COS can do it. But yeah, it's a great idea if somebody is doing it, at least so they can check. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that, mate. Cheers. Thank you.
Who's next?
Reese has got his hand up before I go to the chat.
Yeah, apologies again. Obviously, you mentioned that the lookout safe work packs are only because obviously there's no way of recording the competence at the minute.
Yep.
And again, if you can't answer because it's part of the TA, that's fine. But in CTM 21 under COS lookout, it does say that come the assessment, you need to see evidence of safe work packs.
Yeah. So do you mean are we talking about the workplace assessment again?
Yeah, that's it. Sorry.
Right. And do you mean for COS lookout?
Yes.
Yeah. What I'd say again is that if you can record it on Sentinel, then great. I don't see the why do you need to see a safe work pack. But if you've got it as pre-December, when the only way you can provide it is via a safe work pack, then that would be the way to do it.
Okay, good. So even though it's as 2 separate evidence requirements in the standard, the Sentinel competence recording will supersede the need to have safe work packs.
Yeah, there'll be no, if you can record it on Sentinel, there shouldn't be any need to provide a safe work
Anything
pack.
else?
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Dave?
Just a quick one, going back to the Sentinel scheme rules. Hi, everybody, by the way. I'm pretty sure the Sentinel scheme rules only mandate the process of swiping in. Would it not be worth somebody within Sentinel or whoever writes the Sentinel scheme rules actually considering mandating the recording of competence and the recording of a safety brief if it's actually required?
Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea. I couldn't tell you without looking at scheme rules myself. I thought the recording use of competence was in there. I know the swiping is definitely in there, as you say, but I'd have to check that bit myself. Yeah.
Because from a sponsor's perspective,
Yep.
this is a huge change.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
with the lack of communication, albeit there's plenty of resources on the Sentinel website, as there has been for quite a number of years now, but
Yep.
there is still this ambiguity between swiping, checking validity, authority to work, medical requirements, restrictions, travel time, etc., etc. But then the action of recording the safety brief is a completely separate thing from just obviously swiping in.
Yeah, it is. And we're going to see within Network Rail how people who use the Rail Hub system are probably going to think that that was a recording use of competence. And so we've been trying to get out to people. There's various bulletins have gone out where we said it doesn't, you have to record that separately. So I think that's going to be another one that we're gonna get. But yeah, I agree. I agree.
That's fine. I just wanted to raise that point. That's all. Cheers.
Yeah, no problem.
Right, so in the chat, we've got kind of a bit of a chain going on. So I'll start with the first question and I'll kind of talk about what people have said, and then we'll see if we can get to the end of it. So basically, Ian Burridge said, what if someone goes on or near the line but does not work under a cause? For example, employees who attend failed trains, suicides, animal strikes, etc. And then Chris said, I'd like to add to this. If a PTS holder works with a DP, how does their work experience get recorded? Sentinel does not allow a designated person to record competence use.
No, so I'm fairly sure, and I'm sort of jumping out. I know it sounds like a bit like I'm batting it back, but I'm pretty sure that's addressed in the FAQs because that exact question, I seen a draft of it and I was looking at it and I thought I'm pretty sure that's been addressed in the FAQ. So I'm going to sort of say just leave that one to have a look in the FAQs on that.
Yeah. Ian also wanted to know, it says how will COS mentoring be logged if there is no COS logbook?
As in actual mentor shifts, do you mean, or?
I don't know. That was Ian Burridge.
So what would say? I mean, I don't know if he wants to come on, but it doesn't stop a sponsor from having their own mentoring documentation where they can record the amount of shifts and the dates and what they did and where. And so in fact I think 021 even refers to things like it does with PTS as well, with learning supports. It makes a mention of that and it says that supports the decision going along with the mentoring.
Okay, and then his final question was, why are warning systems not being moved into the same session as Lookout, as these need additional training stroke briefings before a COS can use them, and they are hardly ever used?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that some of the people were sort of suggesting at one point was, should it be something really where we have a competence for warning and a competence for protection methods? Would that be a better way of looking at it? All I was going to say is that when the risk-based analysis was looked at it, it was decided that wasn't the route they were going to go down. They were looking at one point of a modular cost. I say at one point it might still come off, where you have a separate module for working in possessions, a separate module for trap warning systems, and I think so. If that does ever come off, then what that would do is it would split the remaining cost competence into, well, however many modules that they decide to look at.
Chris says, with the logbooks going where will a line manager carry out an annual review? Will they have access to Sentinel as a line manager and be able to record on Sentinel that they have carried out the review?
They don't record the annual review on Sentinel, but they'll be able to see as a sponsor, they'll be able to see everyone's logbook.
And then we've got one. If a primary sponsor wishes for a PTS holder to undertake a COS initial course after holding PTS for 1 year, and the individual has over 15 shifts recorded in their first year, but none in their second, does the updated 021 standard require them to be turned away? Would this not be a disadvantage? Would this not disadvantage a PTS holder who is otherwise considered suitable for COS progression by their primary sponsor?
Possibly. I mean, what I would say is, again, we're kind of going down the 021 questions, but I seem to remember, and again, I might have to sort of just check it, but I think 021 just says it should be 8 in 2 years, doesn't it, for PTS? That's the minimum requirements for a PTS worker. Is that what we're saying? Or we before they attend the COS initial?
Yeah, so I think that yeah, he's basically saying if they do all their shifts in the first year and none in the second, is it still counted? But I think it's 4 a year, isn't it? So it's an 8 in 2, so 8 in 2 years.
It's 8 in 2, yeah.
So
yeah. Although, I mean, I would question why if someone was obviously busy in 1 year, but then they're not doing any shifts in the second year, why would you want to put them forward for a COS course? Really, I think you've got to think about whether that's the person really, whether that you don't want them to go on the course in the first place.
And then we've got Ben, who said, during a post-mentoring assessment for COS, as an assessor, we must get evidence of the mentor signing the book to say they are ready for the assessment. How will this be recorded on Sentinel once the books are gone?
Pass. Yeah, 021 questions someone put on there. Yeah, pass on that one. I'm not too sure. Yeah,
that's fine.
As I say, this is more, and I'm not trying to swerve the questions, but as it's a technical authority question for 021 rather than the actual training materials, yeah, I'm probably not best place to answer it.
Okay, so we've got a question from Chris rather than me talking. We've got somebody else.
Right, yeah, one.
Yeah, we've seen this transition period for COS Lookout, going from sort of like the 5th to the 6th of December. But is there any sort of like transition period for PTS holders going for recertification? So if they go for recertification on the 7th of December, for example, how many logbook entries are they going to be required to present?
8. It's as per the new standard.
And yet,
so this was
2 days earlier, they're going to only have to have 4.
Correct. Yeah. So this was put and something that we discussed because obviously there's a transition for one, but not for another. And I know there'd been a fair few discussions, and it was just decided that it should be what the new standard is, and it should be 8. So yeah, as you say, somebody on Friday the 5th would be required to produce 4, and on Monday the 8th it'd be 8. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That does cause us as a business a problem, as I'm sure there are many businesses.
Yeah, I'm sure, because probably joint instructions have already gone out, and I mean, I do appreciate it. This was something when I put the case across as this is what people will be up against. Somebody could potentially have gone out 20 times last year, but not have had it all recorded. And how did he get that sort of thing recorded? But as I say, the decision from the business was that they wanted to go with 8.
Okay, thank you.
And Liberty?
Hi, sorry, my name's Deborah Colfer. I'm the head of training and compliance for Elite Project Service, and I'm with Liberty at the moment.
Okay.
I'm also operational. So whilst the questions were coming back and forward with regards to COS mentors, I quite regularly go out and mentor our new COSs. Generally what I do is obviously get them, because they've passed the course and they're coming out with me, I would get them to be swiping in, doing the safety brief and getting the safe work pack communicated and signed.
Yeah.
I'd then sign myself in onto Sentinel, and using the same safe work pack, so I'm not at detriment to, like the number of swipes that I get. So I don't know if that's a potential solution for people.
So are you saying that the person you're mentoring is recording your use of competence, or you're recording it separately?
No, I record mine separately.
As a COS?
As the COS, and they
Right.
will as the COS as well, but obviously under my mentorship.
So are you acting as the COS?
No, they are. I'm mentoring them. I'm there as their support.
Right. I would say that you should only record the use of COS when you're acting as the COS. When the safe work pack has been issued to you, and
oh no, right. Sorry, I misunderstood what you were saying. So
right, sorry,
the safe work pack is issued in their name. I'm mentoring them, and then I will swipe myself in as well.
As a COS?
No, they're going in as a COS, and I'm going in as PTS. I have to at that time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So you're swiping you're swiping yourself in as a PTS person.
I'll use the PTS competencies. Yeah.
I mean, if the problem that you've got is that a person who only holds PTS can't record PTS, but obviously if you hold COS, then you're able to record your
Correct.
PTS. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Right. Yeah. I mean, well, in that case, I don't see there's any issue, because it's no different really than a person who's the COS swiping you in, is it? It's just I'm only what I was really getting at with it is that a person who holds PTS only, they don't have the ability to.
But they wouldn't be going out mentoring a COS.
Yes.
I'm just talking about COS mentorships. Like if people are going out, so that they can evidence the number of people were asking the question, how do COSs who are being mentored evidence it? And someone came up with something that maybe you could do internally in your own department, but then you don't have a standardized process. What might look good for elites might look completely different for another company.
No, I agree. And
I'm not saying it is the solution, but it's something that I use. And just definitely. Also with regards to recording the safety briefing, the way that I was, when I was on my COS course, and I'm going back a few years now, we were actually taught that we had to, obviously when we're scanning people in, record their competencies, but also record the safety briefing.
Wow. Yeah.
I've always done it, so that's not a change for me. But it may be for others. So what we've done as well is I've arranged a Teams call for next week with all of our COSs, so that we can take them all through the process, how they'll do it, what it means to them, what it means to the people that they're signing in.
Yeah, good idea. I would definitely say that's a good idea. And then the more people who know how to actually use Sentinel properly with by recording a safety briefing, the better. Because otherwise it'll only come back in the future when people start saying, well, hang on, I've been out, but I didn't have anything recorded. I can just see something on the chat from Chris, because you asked about the 021 saying being reissued. There's a post-implementation review early in the new year. That's the best. I couldn't give out actual data, just know it's early in the new year.
Yeah, somebody was asking if there was going to be another meeting regarding the 021 when the frequently asked questions come out, but
I'm also going to say probably not. Wait and see what the FAQs look like first, because they are trying to address as many of the questions as possible. Just see where they go there. And as I say, there is a contact email on there should you want any more clarification on anything. So just to give you an idea then, so somebody's attending a COS research. They've produced their evidence that they can attend the COS research. That person only holds COS, so therefore that person just does the COS assessment, the COS theory assessment. You don't do the COS LKT assessment, and obviously at the end they will only be awarded their COS. If the person is attending a COS research and they've got COS and COS LKT and they meet the evidence requirements for both, then they'll do the assessment for the COS and the COS LKT, and if they pass both, then obviously they can be awarded both. You can't pass COS LKT and fail COS, because COS LKT is a child competence to COS. So just move on to the how it works with initial training. If you're going to attend initial training and it's just for somebody who wants COS only, again, the same sort of thing, that the somebody comes in, they just want COS. The course itself hasn't really changed a great deal except for the rules. So you're still covering the lookout element. It's only going to be relatively small when you think about it because of the reduced speed, and you've still got to cover things like sighting distances and warning time calculations. You've still got to cover that anyway because you're going to be doing it for the IWA part and also for the warning system section. So, but what you wouldn't do if somebody doesn't need COS LKT is you wouldn't give them the theory assessment, and they would only be able to do the COS LKT element if they've been given in advance. You've received a director level approval that that person can attend. Is everyone okay with that one? Or has anyone got any questions? I'll take the silence as being that's okay.
Yeah, no hands raised.
Are we looking for questions in the in the chat? Are we caught up on things?
Oh, hold on, there's
Oh, I'm
there's,
going
there's a
mental now.
variety of this movement.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said anything.
Right, so that's regarding 021. Question raised early November, but still response not received. When an individual has completed IWA or site warden initial courses, will their competence be shown as probationary within Sentinel? IWA currently has a P on their competence until they've had their assessment, but it doesn't state, oh, it's in 021, that the individual enters a probationary period. Though this is implied by having a mentor, and site warden doesn't have a P on their competence, and 021 doesn't state that the individual enters a probationary period, although again, implications are there that it's there by a mentor being identified. We would appreciate some clarification. I don't know if this one's on the frequently asked questions or not.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you myself. The FAQs are quite long. There's about 60 sort of questions or so on there, so it might well be. I know within Network Rail, site warden and lookout does get awarded with a P. Is that what was is that what's saying that it doesn't get awarded with a P? So I know within Network Rail it does. So maybe yeah, maybe it might be the same.
I think what you've said is that until we can see the frequently asked questions, it's difficult to answer the questions now.
It is, yeah, and
yeah.
For those people that joined just after the start, I have to apologise that I'm probably not going to be the best place to give you any answers on the 021 or 019 standard questions, and I know you've probably got more burning questions there than you have on the actual material itself. Just something that I have noticed that somebody has mentioned is course duration. The course duration is unaffected, so the course durations are still exactly the same.
Oh, Reese has got his hand up again.
Yeah, I re-looked at my question and it does kind of fall under this rather than half of it's 2-1, half of it's the training material.
Is it go on?
So 021 now implies that there's a post mentor and an interim assessment for site warden and lookout.
Yeah.
Which, okay, you may not be able to answer on, but has there been assessment material created for this?
No, and I don't know only because I was talking about this morning. That there hasn't. I think what the FAQs, and I hope I'm not jumping ahead, will be that it's going to be looked at as a review rather than a sort of a line manager review rather than an actual assessment. So there's been no requirement for assessors to be approved, and there's no assessment document, and there's actually no way of recording an assessment neither. So
no. So that the trouble is it's all good and well, obviously reviewing it, but the standard clearly states assessment.
It would, but if the FAQ addressed the standard, and TA have acknowledged there's a couple of errors in the standard as well, then that would be addressed in the post-implementation review.
Okay, thank you.
Dan.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, so just a quick question for me. Now, obviously, you mentioned that the speed of lookout has been dropped to 25 with a site lookout only.
Yep.
I'll explain all that later. How does this affect touch lookouts then? So, can we use multiple site lookouts still?
Yeah, so there's no requirement that it has to be only one site lookout. That part of it hasn't changed at all. It's only the speed side of it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Just as another quick one on it is that the ES rulebook still says that they can appoint lookouts at night. So I think if you look in handbook 9, you know, stop working in a possession, you see the cost part of it, that does not include it, and it quite specifically says you can't use lookouts at night. But the actual ES side of it, I think that one will probably need to be changed. That still has some rules for things like using using lookouts at night. Anyone else?
Martin.
Yeah, I was just wondering about the online trainer exams, whether they've been updated.
So, do you mean as regards the speeds?
Well, yeah, when you do your COS.
So every trainer will be awarded
online exams. The questions are going to. Oh, has it been updated? Because sometimes you go on there and you have to put things that are out of date to be right.
Yeah, I mean we don't deal with the trainers exams, so I can't say for sure. What I can say is in terms of there wouldn't need to be a separate one for cost lookout for trainers, because every cost trainer assessor will be awarded costs and costs LKT. But in terms of the speeds, then yeah, it should be changed in line with rule changes, really.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Distinction training.
Oh, hi, it's Kate Wielden, Distinction Training.
Hi, Kate.
Hello. Hope everyone's well. Just a quick one. The training plan requirements to issue them with current key point booklets. The majority will not have been updated to reflect the new rules. Do we know when these are expected? I spoke to Wilson's last week and they had no knowledge of any changes.
No, but I'll take a note of that, and I'll see if we can find out.
Thank you.
Cheers, thanks.
Dan's got his hand up again.
Yeah, just one more thing from me regarding OLP. Now, obviously, the current material states about the relieving of an OLP, yet the SAI 25 standard states that you can't relieve cost-to-cost OLP. Is the OLP going to be updated anytime soon, do you know?
It should have been updated with it. Has it still not been updated? I haven't looked at the new OLP material, I've got to be honest. But as you say, they're not supposed to be able to do a relief, are they? So no,
it's still going off the old 29987 standard that you can still be relieved 9 times in the costs OLP 2.5 issue.
Right, I thought that had been changed, but I'll have a look at that one as well.
Yeah, that's just one thing that I noticed wasn't updated with costs. OLP and CRP, there's no changes to them.
It actually falls within a separate portfolio, so I've had no input into the OLP stuff. Yeah, that falls into the E&P portfolio. But yeah, I'll see if I can find out for you though, definitely, because as you say, that it does need changing. Yeah. Yeah,
because currently, as I deliver it, it's a case of teach them to the 29987 standard because that's what's in the assessment. Yet the SAI 25 standard, which is in play now, if they were to answer the questions to that standard, then they would fail the assessment.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So it's a fair comment. Yeah. Yeah. Let me have a look at that one. I'll see if we can find out who was looking. I thought that had been addressed a while ago, but maybe not. Mind you, I can see Reese has got his hand up. Maybe he's going to about to tell me that something different.
No, I was just following up on obviously
Right.
that as quite a key point. There is a substantial amount of comments within Toolkit. A lot of comments will explicitly relate, to the go live date. Are we going to see that these materials, whether it's the assessments or the training, are actually addressed ahead of the 6th? Because as an assured provider, we're at risk every time we use it by using wrong material, but then we're also not allowed to correct it ourselves.
No, so
I think the key
what
point
other
for me.
materials are wrong? I mean, at this bit, I must be
Okay.
honest that if the OLP one, that's a new one, but I think
So-
most of the new cost stuff, if there has been any errors, it's been addressed as we've gone along.
I obviously don't want to burn bridges and be rude, but I would respectfully disagree with that.
Right. Okay.
For instance, the Safe System Work Planner assessment, the last page is blank. We can't sign off to say someone's competent. The COS assessment doesn't include any of the non-technical skills we now should be recording or any of the additional evidence requirements we now need. Just as a sample off the top of my head. And obviously, we were stuck in the middle a little bit here.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Safe System Work Planner. That it's well known, and probably everyone will be nodding their head that it's overdue for a review. It's expected that there's supposed to be a standard review as well, but that hasn't happened as yet. But just on the sheer scale of what it would take to change that one, along with what everything else that's gone this time, it just couldn't be done at the same time. We just didn't have the resources to do it all at the same time. Liam?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, go on.
There we go. It's kicking in. No, I'm just wondering if anything's been thought about with regards to operational trainers and maintaining cost lookout competence. Because currently I'm operational. There's no way I'll be able to meet the practice requirements of cost lookout. I will for my cost core. But when I lose that competency, I'll lose the ability to train it, assess it. And that could cause problems when you've got courses with mixed groups and things like that. Whereas if I was non-operational, it wouldn't matter. I'd just do my online exams because I don't need a workplace assessment. Yeah,
the chances of you using, I mean, it's a slightly different sort of topic, really, because than this. But I know where you're coming from. Is that it's unlikely you're going to use cost lookout operationally, isn't it? I would say
not in our day to day, but
yeah, that's what I mean. In your training point of view, every time you deliver a cost initial, you will be delivering the lookout element. So every time you deliver a cost initial, then that will be part of it.
But how will that get me the operational requirements to meet the prereqs to do my workplace assessment on the cost lookout bit?
Yeah, not sure. Not sure.
That's the problem. The difference between non-op and operational. Yeah, it's just
there's always there's no end of curveballs for when we start talking about op and non-op stuff, aren't we? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay.
Dave, you had your hand up. Are you okay with that now, or is there anything else?
It was a very similar question.
Right. Okay.
What Liam just had.
Right. All right. No problem. Any more for any more?
Hi. Andy Wendell. Hi, Rich.
Andy.
Just a quick one on the OLP, on the training material with the PowerPoint. It states that on the PowerPoint, as it stands at the moment, that it could be a cost-to-cost interaction when handing over the permit. But I have had on our training courses a nominated person that says that isn't the case anymore. And several people have said the same. Maybe that should be changed as well, because now it's no cost-to-cost interaction at all.
It was just mentioned then, Andy. It was just mentioned just before. Can I just ask? Have you or I can't remember who mentioned the previous one. Have you put any feedback on Toolkit for it?
No, I haven't.
Right. I mean, I was going to say, I mean, obviously, if you look on Toolkit and somebody's already left it, then fine. But I'll be able to take it up with the relevant people for that one. I thought it would have been sorted. As I say, it's not actually within our portfolio for the track safety portfolio. It falls within an E&P one, but I can certainly find out, definitely.
Thank you ever so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
It's me again, Dave Seaton.
Just
going back over.
Someone says me again.
Just going back over this site warden lookout probationary thing. I know it's not hugely relevant because it's more of a 021 question, but going back a few years ago when we used to award the combined lookout site warden competence with a probation. The old process used to be that the competence was awarded with a probation with a 12-month validity period upon completion of e-learning and the post-course workbook.
Yep.
Do you know if that's kind of the route that they're trying to go down here? Bringing that back in.
So I think the post-course workbook is still in. I'm fairly sure it still is to support the mentoring. Yeah,
it is still in, but obviously that's more of a competence management thing as opposed to a trainer assessor.
Yes, and I think that's the idea for a review as well, for an annual review to make sure that someone's using the competency and that they're meeting generally the standard that's expected of them, which could be going on feedback from COSs or that they're not subject to any kind of incident or review or irregularities.
So we're relatively happy that it is a competence management.
It's a competence management thing, yeah. I think it's better addressed. The last time I seen, I think it's better addressed in the FAQs when you see, and I know I've said this quite a lot today, but that it's done as more of a competence management review rather than a formal assessment where someone can pass or fail.
Yeah, that's fine. It's more just a post-course briefing, just so we can 100% confirm the candidates as to whether or not they will be awarded with a probationary competence or whether or not it is a competence management perspective from the sponsor to confirm.
So I'm only asking this because I've not been in supply chain for like 5 years now. So when you deliver that course, is it not currently awarded with in a probationary status?
No, they got rid of it when they split the competencies.
Did it? Right. I'll find. But
the workbook is still there.
It is, yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, Andy.
Yeah, is that me?
Yeah,
yeah. Hi, yeah. Sorry, I don't know. Actually, is this just about costs, etc.? Because I've got a question regarding the up and coming PC course. Is that appropriate for this forum?
Yeah, if you.
It's just some clarification around the prerequisites for the initial course. What's the requirement for the evidence? It says something about line blockages, but how many packs or items of evidence is required?
Right. So this was actually raised by one of our trainers recently, and the answer was that it should be 2 pieces of evidence within 12 months.
Okay.
So 2 evidence of taking line blocks within the previous 12 months.
And is that within 2 months prior to the course, 12 months prior to the course?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So it's just 2 then. That's fine. Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Angie, have you got your hand up?
Yes, I do, and you'll have to forgive me. I've had a power cut, so I lost you halfway through, and I'm now in the dark by candlelight. So I apologise. It was actually going back to operational and non-operationals, trainer and assessor's ability to prove operational competence. I just wanted to double check as to whether there is still the intention that a trainer and assessor would be able to record every day of delivery as a use of competence.
Yes.
So by delivering the COS course, when they deliver the COS lookout section of the course, they can record that use of competence in Sentinel.
Yep. So
is that right?
Yes, that's it. Yep. And rather than it being per course, it's per day. So a COS initial, I mean, obviously, I know you say about an 8-day, but actually the actual course is 5. So that would be 5 use of competence, COS research 2, a PTS initial where you're going out on track doing the track visit. There's 1. So yeah.
And how would they literally just be recording 1 use of COS lookout because the section or the content on lookout specifically is so small?
Yes, definitely.
So you would expect 5 COS records and 1 COS lookout in the delivery of a COS initial course.
Yeah, you couldn't put down 5, could you? Because you're not talking about COS lookouts every day, but you're doing it certainly once, yeah.
Okay, Liam, does that resolve the issue that you had raised?
Yeah, so if we're going to allow it recording your competence on courses, that's not a problem, I suppose.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure I think it's mentioned there in the FAQ documents as well. Like I said, I only seen a draft and a quick look, but I'm pretty sure it was mentioned in that as well. Yeah. Next, is that you, Dave?
Yeah.
It is, and it's leading on to this question, which has just reminded me about the question I actually really wanted to ask, which again is more of a 021 thing. So question 36, the topic that we're speaking about mentions operational and non-operational trainers and assessors recording the use of competence for delivering training. So for example, 5-day COS initial will be recorded as 5 use of competencies.
Yep.
So the first question really is, that doesn't really have much of a benefit to a non-operational trainer or assessor by the sheer virtue of the fact that they are non-operational. But
it's not, but you still have to meet the practice requirements.
Of course, yeah, which is fine.
Which is 10 per year, yeah.
So from an operational trainer or assessor perspective, is it going to be the fact that going forward that an operational trainer or assessor logging, for example, that they've delivered 3 COS initials in that 12-month period, that when it comes to the 9 to 12 month or 9 to 11 month assessment, taking into account the 21 days for the online exams, if they have 15 COS entries within their logbook, would be eligible for workplace assessment.
Yeah, because that would be the same as it would be if it was in your blue logbook, wouldn't it?
That's fine. It was just a common query that we kept batting about between our team.
Yeah,
and we just wanted to put on record that is in fact the case.
Yeah, I mean, you're just recording your use of competence on Sentinel the same as you would do in your blue logbook. So yeah, I don't see there's any.
Because obviously, previous to that, if a operational trainer was delivering a COS course, they wouldn't have previously recorded 5 use of competencies based on the fact that they delivered a COS initial course.
No,
they would simply go out and undertake operational duties on the infrastructure.
No, you wouldn't. But then in the same way, when we looked at it, we discussed how many people do 10 COS initials per year. I mean, there's probably some of you on here say I do that easy, but if you've got quite a large skill set, maybe not everybody would do that many. And as a sort of a comparison in terms of between that and a frontline staff, if you think you could be a COS on a project working in a possession for 2 weeks, exactly the same safe system of work, or in a line block for 2 weeks, exactly the same, and you've not done anything, any kind of variety, and there's your 10, isn't it? So that's every single time that you do it. Whereas a COS trainer, you're teaching every single aspect of the rules, aren't you? Every course, you're teaching every little bit of it. So really, there should be no reason why you shouldn't be able to in that way. But that was the agreement that we that the technical authority were happy with.
That's fine, and that does only apply for training events and not assessment events.
No, if you're doing a workplace assessment, a cost assessment, there's another one.
Okay, that's fine. That's answered actually the most pressing question that I had. Thank you very much.
Only because obviously some people are assessors only, aren't they? And they've still got to meet the practice requirements. So yeah,
that's great. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Kate, did you have a pressing comment? I seen that you had your, or was it Dave?
No, it's definitely Dave.
It's definitely Dave, yeah.
It's definitely Dave. Are you saying that a non-operational trainer will transfer to operational by delivering a classroom event?
No.
No, we're definitely not saying that.
I'm definitely not saying that. No.
Right, okay.
That's definitely a Dave question. That was.
I'm picking up here that people might go away from this meeting thinking by delivering a cost training event, they would be able to transfer to operational status. That is not the case, is it?
No, it definitely is. We're not going to say any more because Angie's about to come along with a big stick and beat me even. Go on, Angie.
I've sat very quietly on this one.
It was just to support you, Richard, that no, delivering training as a non-operational trainer or assessor does not mean that you can go operational and undertake a workplace assessment, because you have to do the workplace assessment on the live infrastructure. You're non-operational. You can't use your competence on the live infrastructure.
All good?
Yep, think so. Anybody else?
If not, thanks for your time. Oh, hang on. Oh. Andy McIntosh has stuck his hand up at the last minute.
That's just a very quick and simple question. Where or when will we get access to the FAQs, please, Richard?
It'll be next week. That's all I know. It will be before 021 goes live. I think they are pretty much sort of done and dusted, but I can't say for sure. And I know there's a draft, but I can't say for sure. The only thing that I do know is when the question was raised, will they be available before the go live date? It was yes, they will be.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, I can't give you any more specific than that. Mike?
Sorry, mate, conscious of time, but might be one that you want to deflect, but the standard for supply chain contractors used to have 012 standards, used to have really helpful cycles in of what we could give out to candidates at the end of the course, and they're quite easy to follow. My understanding now is they've been taken out of that and there's only Network Rail ones in there. Just wondered if there was any, am I missing something, or is an opportunity that we need those cycles back, because we used to give them out and they're quite easy to follow for the guys and girls after training.
Yeah, I'd have to check. So you're saying the cycles that are at the back of 021 now, they're
not for the Network Rail only, mate. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There is some for supply chain in there.
Yeah, there is I'm not too sure who's coming in there. You're right. There is a flowchart process, everything. But it doesn't say like do your course, so many entries, assessments, so many entries, research. They were always valuable to give to the candidates, because obviously candidates aren't going to read 100-page standard. So it was just to see if anyone on the call had seen anything I've maybe missed.
I'm just looking through it now. I mean, I can see some, but I'm just trying to find if they're.
Yeah, you've got the appendices at the back, mate, and it's Network Rail only that we used to give out.
If you don't mind, it's Reese, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't say Appendix B, routes across the supply chain.
Yeah, but if you look at them, they're not very. I'm not going to say not very helpful, but they're very different to what would give out recently, and they don't.
Oh, right.
They don't tell you what you need as a candidate.
Right. What in terms of like?
If you compare them, Rich, to the Network Rail ones, it gives you like do this at this time, do this, have this, whereas this one just doesn't tell us anything really.
Right. Right, I'll ask the question for you. Yeah,
If you
I do
could,
see
mate,
there's
that'd be brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll ask the question. I just see there's a comment from Ken Lambert in there saying that FAQs will be next week on the on Network Rail Standards website. I think the idea as well, maybe Angie's going to say not that was that they were going to try and get them over to NSAR to send out as well. But yeah. Like I say, I believe it's going to be next week, but I'll find out. I'll ask the question about the routes to competence and the flow charts, Mike.
That'd be brilliant. Thanks, Rich. Appreciate that, mate.
No problem. Angie again.
Yep, it was just to let you know that we have asked that we get a copy of the frequently asked questions as soon as they are sent to the standards portal. And as soon as they're received, they will be issued to all providers through Skills Backbone. So keep an eye out on your notifications.
All good. Cheers, thank you. Well, if that's it, have a good weekend, everybody.
Thanks, Richard.
Thank you, thanks everybody for joining.
Thanks, Rich. Thanks, folks. Bye now. Bye.
Thank you, Richard. I appreciate it.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Oh yeah, it's Christmas.
That's a bit early. That who said that?
Andy Randall, get in early, man.
Yeah.
It's not
Thank you,
even
everyone.
December.
Bye bye.